Yeah. Yeah. What's up, everybody? YouTube is relatively predictable again. The only problem I had today is YouTube apparently is doing this big thing. They settled some court case and they want me to confirm if my videos are made for children or not. I'm one of those people that don't care because this is clearly an adult-only channel with adult conversations. So, I just said all my videos are for adults. Have absolutely no idea how this is going to impact my monetization, etc. But it is what it is. So today we're going to be revisiting some old questions. So please call in, ask us all the questions. No question is too stupid to ask today. You can ask us anything. One thing, however, is Joe called in earlier. I couldn't finish talking to him, but I'll just go over what we did talk about. Hopefully Joe calls in right now and then he finishes asking us the rest of the question. Blake is like, left Disney Plus to come watch. Welcome to the adult world, adult wonderland in Bangkok, Thailand. He asked me questions specifically about money. I'm gonna go over this again. Obviously, you need to do your own shopping around, but the last time I checked, this is generally how I would go about with your finances here. If you are just traveling out here, don't worry too much about opening bank accounts, etc. I know YouTubers make videos about this, but I think the only benefit to opening a bank account before was like paying your utility bills. It's a lot easier if you have it because we have nice cool little apps with K-Bank here and other banks. For example, I don't want to show too much about my bank account, but boom. I'm sure the American apps have developed quite a bit, but online, no, actually I use American apps. It's not as good as the Thai banking apps. So for example, I could put like favorite actions here, and right here is Mayu. Boom, send her money. Doot, 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 doot. It Face IDs me now, so I don't even need to do fingerprints. I just type in how much I'm gonna send her, I send it. So right after we do groceries, boom. So amongst other Thais, this is good, having a bank account. For example, we rented a motorcycle, and in Chiang Mai, if we didn't have this bank app, the motorcycle people like left. Remember this? Babe?
They closed down.
Yeah, they closed the store. So they couldn't give us our deposit back. But we found like a neighbor, we contacted them, and what did they expect us to do? Like, have a Thai bank account? So they're not gonna come all the way down here and we need to catch a flight. We left the motorcycle with them and they transfer the money right to our bank account. So it's very convenient. Another thing you can do is all the utility bills, even my condo now, they have barcodes. So I just go into my app, go scan. Boom. I just press scan and then QR code, barcode, and it automatically, I just punch in and I pay bills that way. In the States, I used to have my bill pay set up, but I think you may be able to do it, but I personally like control over my bills, so I like this system a lot better. I get a bill, I scan it, I pay it, just typing in how much I want to pay. Some of the utilities and such, it's connected, so when I scan, it knows how much my bill is as well. So this is why I got Thai bank account. I'm gonna probably have to give you an update because if I move, and I'm staying in Korea quite a lot, this might become a problem because a lot of it requires you to set up mobile phone access. Like that's how they confirm your identity based on the phone number on your SIM. But lately they've been sort of getting away with requiring that for everything. Like I can do a lot of the quick actions for sure, and I think I allowed access so I can do stuff over Wi-Fi. But there's been a lot of scams and scandals over this, like amongst Thais that you probably never heard of. Like $1 million being stolen. I mean, million baht being stolen here and there because identity theft issues, etc. But I'm not concerned about it. Why? Because I only have a couple $100 in there, so it's like I'm not a target. And this is bringing me to the point that I was discussing with Joe. So for most part, how do you manage your finances? Well, bring a bit of cash. First of all, you need a bit of a backup. I myself, he was thinking about $9,000. That's probably a bit too much for me. I'm okay with like $1,000. That should last me. I mean, if I buckle down on it, like 2 months. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. You could bring as much as you want. It depends on whatever your budget is, but I recommend that you have about at least a month's, you know. But if you're just traveling for like 2 weeks, I think you can bring like $1,000, $2,000 unless you want to go high roller. Because even when you do high roller stuff, you're gonna have a credit card. So be sure you have a credit card that doesn't charge foreign currency conversion fees. You're already getting charged a float, and banks won't even know that. I mean, I know that there's a float, like I know that there is a margin that they charge on the currency conversion, because banks generally don't give you whatever the rate is. So I've called banks. It's really hard to find out. I've called all my banks to compare the rates, and I'm like, if I was to charge on this credit card right now, what would I get? And most of the phone bankers don't know. And then I even had to escalate it. They don't know. So a lot of them will just tell you whatever the currency conversion rate is right now, but that could vary depending on the bank. Yeah. However, just make sure you don't have one that charges a fee for converting that, because that will be significant. Generally, though, it's actually maybe not too significant. It's generally around 3 to 5%. But if you're from the States, Capital One, for example, all their credit cards don't charge foreign currency conversion fees. So that's sort of a safe bet. Like, you know, the Chase Sapphire cards are generally really good. I had a Citi something card. Had a $100 annual fee, which they waive for the first year. And then when I first came out here, I used that quite a lot because I was partying and everything. It was really helpful. And you get points back. So I had that, but after a year I canceled it because I don't want to pay the $100 fee. I wasn't really pulling any money out of the States, so it wasn't worth it for me. So, I mean, but if you're based out of the States, those are generally good cards. I'm sure there's other ones. But just confirm that they don't have a foreign currency conversion fee, and then just charge out here. And a lot of you guys, particularly on this channel, are drawing your income from the States, so this will be the best way to manage it. Yeah. Now, there are moments that you will need cash, however. And I didn't do it this way, but if I was drawing funds off of America, this is how I would have done it in hindsight. Charles Schwab apparently offers ATM fee reimbursements. Now, when I say ATM fee reimbursements, oh, what's up, Nick? When I say ATM fee reimbursements, you have to be aware a bank is gonna obviously charge you the bank here. Like, let's say you withdraw at a K bank, it's the ATM. The bank here is gonna charge you a fee, as well as your bank is most likely gonna charge you a fee. That's a double whammy, guys. And it may not seem significant because it's maybe $3 to $5 you know, so you're like, it's not that much. But if you get charged $3 here, $3 here, $5 here, $5 here, it's like $6 to $10. And you may have an ATM limit, or like me, I sort of up my ATM limit, daily ATM withdrawal limit per day from the States just in case I had emergencies. And I had it set to like $500 to $1,000 a day. You may have a high limit at your place, but you have to be aware that ATM withdrawal limits are bottlenecked by the lowest one. So you may have 1,000 limit in America, but here a lot of the ATMs don't let you withdraw more than $300 to $500 anyways. So that ATM withdrawal limit that you increase in the States is going to be irrelevant. So be mindful of that. So that's why this is going to end up becoming a lot more than even charging on a credit card with a 3% foreign withdrawal convergency fee. Because let's say you do $6 getting charged from here and there, and you can only withdraw like $300. You know, so yeah, I mean, I think sometimes like I've been in places where it's like $100, $200. So these fees, they really add up. So I would recommend that you find a bank that at least doesn't charge from your end, so you only get hit with a fee from here, which is like $3 or whatever. Otherwise you could be looking up like at $10 upwards. I mean, at the least $6, which is quite significant for every time you do a ATM withdrawal. So yeah, Charles Schwab, what they would do is obviously they don't charge you a fee, and they also reimburse the fee of the foreign bank. I'm not gonna go into the details of it, but that's their marketing strategy. By not having ATM and managing ATMs, they're saving costs, so they use that to reimburse you for the fees, it seems like. So open a Charles Schwab account. I also heard for military people, like I have a USAA account. When I go back to the States, I'll probably reopen it again. I closed everything over there because their insurance actually is overrated, I think. But their checking account apparently also does the reimbursements of the other people's ATM withdrawal fees, so that's also good for those military people. Alright, so you'll be charging a lot for like the high roller stuff if you go to hotels and you're eating out at fancy 5-star restaurants, etc. So you're not going to need a lot of cash. And then use an ATM to withdraw, just, you know, to buy street food, etc. And even if you're withdrawing like $300, if you're lucky, maybe $500 a day, it should be definitely more than enough for your cash needs, no matter what your budget is. Because if you have a high budget, they generally accept credit cards in those establishments. And as far as like the foreign currency conversion that your bank charges, etc., confirm with them. Now, if you want to transfer a really large amount, however, in cash, and this is, I think, only really necessary when it comes to maybe buying a car, but I wouldn't recommend that you buy a car. Even you can buy a motorcycle out here for like $1,000, $2,000, so you can charge it. So the only reason I really see you transferring a significantly large amount, and that also includes hospitals, by the way. Hospitals you can charge. So when you would need to transfer a large amount and acquire cash, that's when I think you would need to open a bank account here. And the only reason I can possibly think of doing that, and the only reason I opened it in the beginning, was because I wanted to buy a condo. When you are buying a condo, you really have to open a bank account here. Be mindful of that. Because what I thought I was going to be smart, because in the beginning I only needed like $2,000, $3,000 for the down payment. And I had Citibank set up, by the way. Mayu, why don't you sit down here?
Where should I place it? Behind me.
Sit down, babe.
I have to move it kind of a little bit.
So when you're purchasing a house or making big purchases, I think in general, you have to show that the money was sourced from your country. So there needs to be a paper trail. Yeah. As Americans, if you ever open bank accounts in foreign countries, you know that there's some kind of an agreement that only Americans have. Like, we are scrutinized by the IRS. So the bank is going to report all your deposits, etc. So for tax reasons, I don't know. You can confirm with that, but they're going to eventually find out you have money or whatever. Because all the banks here are required, in foreign countries, are required to report stuff. Unless maybe you're going to some terrorist country that doesn't have this agreement. But like Korea, everywhere else, they do. Yeah, so anyways, you would have to open a bank account. I found out the hard way because I was withdrawing ATM, like, because I only needed like $2,000-$3,000, I think. However much amount it was, I thought, okay, if I just withdraw like over 6 days, I could have this down payment, and then I can figure out how to get the rest of the money when the construction finishes. And they right away said they can't accept this money in cash because I need to show paper trail. So I ended up having all this extra money that I couldn't use except for maybe daily expenses. So don't do that when you're doing big purchases. Confirm all of this. Especially for fat condos, you have to show paper trail. So open a bank account and then have it wired. Once it's wired, then you need to get a letter from your bank that states that money came from another country so that you can use that money to purchase a condo as a foreigner. This is one of the requirements to purchase a condo as a foreigner. That's probably the hardest part about purchasing a condo. Rest of it was like easier than buying a car, honestly. I just went, signed, done. They register everything for you, pay the taxes, etc. There's like no title or anything like that because I opted to purchase directly from a builder, which is how I recommend that you do these purchases, because if you do buy a condo, a lot of the horror stories you'll see is around either like usually like irreputable builders, so there's something that goes wrong with your property. That's why I recommend that you go with a reputable builder. But the second like most biggest horror stories I hear is usually around the middleman, the lawyer, or whoever screwing you out of something. Like paperwork isn't done right. Usually, like when I see the forums, it usually involves like some Thai woman or girlfriend, and they use someone that they recommend, and you think you own the house but you don't, kind of thing. So, or maybe you think you're buying the house but you really aren't. You're going into a lease or something instead, because these things do exist, like 30-year leases out here. So if you want to be absolutely certain, go to a reputable builder, and then I would work with like just general secretaries or the people that work there that do these titles and etc. Because there's really no incentive for them to screw you over. They're just employees, not someone that could get bribed or something. Although, I mean, I guess it could be possible, but it generally won't happen. You'll just go to some random person. And if like the person you're buying from is a private party and then they're insisting on using their people, then that would be like a red flag for me. But anyways, the person I bought from was very, reasonable, everything. I went and, we just sort of waited and got to the first person that was available at the condo. And then we did all the transaction there. So it was really simple. So yeah, And if you are gonna do open a bank account and you plan on getting a lot of funds from America and you're gonna continue to draw money from there, you know, I don't want to like promote them because I don't really know their conditions lately. But when I checked at the time, Citibank was offering the best rates. I just knew that Citibank had branches out here, so I mean I use Wells Fargo because I work for them, but I really like Chase. So those are the two bank accounts I had, and then I closed the USA one because I wasn't really using it. You know, I like basically I work for banks, so I had like pretty much every bank account except for Citibank because banking in the States isn't that great for Citibank, right? It's more convenient to go with like Chase or Wells, but Citibank definitely has an international presence, so I opened a bank account over there, and if you had like $25,000, you get a gold status. Try to get the gold status with Citibank because if you come to Thailand, I think there was two factors. One was the person that I was buying the condo from also used Citibank, so she contacted the banker she knew and made it really easy for me to open up a bank account here. So I didn't do all this rigmarole like jumping through hoops and loops like you know, all the other vloggers will tell you in opening up a Thai bank account. I went to like a premier banker at Citibank because I had a gold account, and they hooked it up, and they set me up with a gold account here, which actually requires, I believe, a 5 million baht relationship balance. But Citibank has a policy, I'm not sure if it's still there, but if they confirm that you have a gold relationship in another country, so they'll contact Citibank in America, then they will give you a free gold status relationship here, which is pretty nice. You get a lot of advantages. Like you actually get better conversion rates, etc. So with a gold account, when I checked for wires and I checked all the other foreign currency and the conversion rates, I was getting the best rate. So that's how I did it. I wired through Citi. So that's something that you might want to consider. It'll give you options out here. I mean, if anybody else knows any other way to wire large sums of money at a very good wire fund rate, let me know. But Citibank seems to be the best. 6:30 West Coast time. Jack is on.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. So yeah, that is my recommendation of how you deal with bank finances. You guys have any other detailed questions? Mayu, why don't you sit here? Mayu is...
I feel like tired.
I keep telling Mayu to sit, but you guys, it's not me. I'm not like trying to... See, I even leave space here for her to sit. Mayu just is...
I feel so lazy today. I've done nothing today. I just watched the movie, and then...
She watched The English Patient, which I fell asleep on.
Oh my god, and then I had a headache.
Oh, yeah.
And I just cooked, which comes out really bad. So
No, it's really good.
it's just this one. Look at the seaweed.
Guys, how do you like this lens, by the way? I'm using the lens that I'm supposed to use for my full frame. So it crops it in and it zooms in, but it's a wide angle lens on my full frame.
I feel this part is very dark though. Actually,
It is
this
supposed
part
to be dark, babe.
Yeah.
There's no... I'll turn the light on.
It doesn't help, babe.
Yeah, it does.
Look at that.
Oh, it doesn't.
Anyways.
Answer some questions, Mayu.
How's your week, everyone?
How's your week?
How's your week? There's not many people commenting about it though.
Yeah, today is not much comments.
Early bird get tears from Miami.
Who?
Miami from Faye Ponton. He's from Miami.
Thank you, Fabe. I don't think I've seen him in the live streams yet. Guys, by the way, we're almost at 500 subscribers for this channel.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah.
Talk Asia?
And
Oh.
it's still very cozy.
Well, yeah, because you don't show how many subscribers you have. You should eat this one first, babe, because it's getting saggy. You have to dip into the show you a little bit. Oh, see, See? You have to be like crispy, but it's not.
It's delicious, Maya.
This is something that I use. I mean, maybe Japanese family likes to cook. They prepare the seaweed, everything, and then cut small pieces, and then put the vinegar rice, and then separate toppings, and then you can make your own the temaki sushi. Yeah, I mean, my family used to do it a lot. Yeah, it reminds me. Oh, my childhood.
Yeah, tastes good. She has different things like tuna. This one is keramari, egg rolls.
Yeah, the avocado is maybe a kind of new thing.
By the way, the reason I'm like trying to get the subscriber up for this channel is notice how I'm trying to do more like podcasts and such like this on here. I honestly don't have time. I haven't. Whenever I create another channel, I generally don't really do much on it, even though I have all these intentions, like even my other travel channel, because I'm so busy trying to grow my main channel. But I'm thinking once I get to 1,000 here, then I will do like mobile live streams.
Yeah, you can carry with your phone.
Yeah, because this was gonna be like a walking video channel, right? So I won't have to edit anything if I do these walking live streams. Yeah. So trying to get it to 1,000, but it's easier said than done. Cause even like I try to do the video game convention that I threw up here. You guys saw that, right? I threw like a walking video of the video game convention. Did I make it public? Yeah, I did. I originally wanted to do it with the mobile phone, but the data wasn't streaming fast enough, so I couldn't do it. So this is the issue. Like, even Thailand actually has relatively reliable coverage, but at that convention, you saw a lot of kids. The network was overloaded, so you couldn't use data there. Stuff like this. And so I don't think I can cover events, which I like to cover, because then the networks are usually overloaded in those situations. But 4G is relatively available everywhere, and now they're making 5G available, like in Thailand and Korea, the two countries I'll probably go to the most. So yeah, I think that'll be the future. One of the reasons I finally like changed from the iPhone 7, not only just like, so I finally upgraded. So
hello, Ethan and Mayu, John Hooker. No, Hooker. Korean food or Thai food or Japanese food, which is better for you? I like Japanese food first, and the Korean food comes first, second, and then at least Thai food. But yesterday I really wanted to eat like Thai mama noodle. I mean, it's not mama noodle, it's a tom yum noodle. So spicy and sour, and at the same time slightly sweet.
I mean, I clearly like Korean food
over than Japanese food, right? But I mainly I cook Japanese food with a Korean.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Japanese food is probably healthier, but if you're used to like certain amount of seasoning, it's really hard to like another food. That's why I think Thai people, their main complaint. By the way, call us if you can. Thai people, their main complaint when they go to another country and then they really miss Thailand, they're like, why? And it's usually, they always say food. Yeah. They always miss the food because Thai people grow up like eating so much like spices, sourness, saltiness, MSG, that every other food is going to taste bland. So Korean food is sort of in the middle. It's actually quite spicy. There's a lot of flavor. Koreans like do a lot, but it's not as crazy as Thai food.
When is the other J5 video coming out?
You're really waiting for that, huh?
Like they are saying that. Did you look at all the footage that I shoot?
No. See, the problem is I decided to take on a bigger project, which is our Kanchanaburi trip. I just went through like 3 hours of raw footage, and then I cut it down to 40 minutes right now. So you can imagine me going back and forth between hundreds of clips on 3 hours. Before I even get started on laying it up, it's about 6 hours of work. It's like at least double because I'm looking at it twice. Because I gotta at least look, and I was doing it relatively fast. Like, trim, and I put it in a chronological order. So now it's at 40 minutes. I gotta go over this again, and then decide how I'm gonna do it. But
yeah, people wants to know J5, but he didn't actually go there. I am the one.
yeah, but I think I mentioned that. I think people are interested. If I knew that this J5 video would have gotten such a positive response, I would have started on that right away. But I already started on this, and I can't stop now. So it's you're gonna sort of have to wait, but that is sort of on the next. But then I did commit to doing dating in Thailand with 2 Thai girls.
Oh.
So we gotta do that, and that's gonna. Oh, that's good. Oof. Oh my gosh, there's just too many videos, guys. Too many videos I gotta do and edit. I'm like getting burned out. But it was like luckily this last video did really good on the J5, and it really gave me a motivator. So really happy that you liked it. We'll probably do more videos like that. Funny thing is, the J5 video, I didn't spend that much time to edit or anything like that. It was a pretty straightforward boom, boom, boom. Okay. And it got the most views.
Most views?
Yeah, like most views since my MRT video. This is like on track to be everything else.
Yeah, the MRT videos.
Even the cost of living it might be actually. I'm sorry. The cost of living video.
It's more.
Did pretty good. It's double now, but it's actually on a faster pace to overtake that one. But who knows?
Oh, the camera like tried to focus me, and it focused me sometimes. I was like boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah.
And then one say one.
The autofocus on the smaller camera is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I trust it.
Bonchon opened near me.
Oh.
Jack said, I had a fish tacos. It was almost too spicy. Hot to eat.
Bonchon doesn't have fish tacos out here.
Right on the edge for me. I do like spicy. Higher cost than Bonchon in Thailand. Do you have catalog for your restaurant score somewhere? Yeah, maybe we should make website, the restaurant we visited, and then the price range, and then our score. And then that's gonna be my job. Yeah, but maybe we can open it. Normally what kind of website I use?
I guess I can add that into my workflow. Like, if it would be too hard to go through every one of my videos and confirm the scores, but if I started now and I created an Excel spreadsheet.
No need to create an Excel spreadsheet.
It's just too much work.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Categories: Thailand, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Kanchanaburi. Okay, Hong Kong. This area. Maybe in Hong Kong you don't even put an area. You can just put Hong Kong. And put Korea.
I mean, there's so many things I need to do. I just don't have the time.
Put it on your Facebook in about the area. Yeah.
I mean, eventually I plan on doing these compilation top 5, top 10 videos. Which I should have already started. I mean, I probably can do it now. And I just thought about this. I realized this because I saw this other channel. We were looking at it. Yesterday.
Live Love Thailand.
Live Love Thailand. Mike is like, I think he copied your channel name. But I don't think so. But anyways.
No, that is from Pat.
Pat said that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Last time we have dinner with them. Or her husband, I don't remember. Like they say that it sounds like he copied.
Yeah, they keep getting confused with my channel. He's already at 20K subs, and the guy just basically does like top whatever videos. And I'm like, you know what? I could make a much better video with with this topic. And I'm like, so I have all the B-roll now. Oh man, there's just a lot of things I'm doing. Like, I'm also finally going through all my old catalog of footage and finally trimming out the B-roll and seeing if I can use some for stock footage. So like, I'm trying to like find some source of income. Like, honestly guys, I'm trying not to teach English and do this and just vlog. And time wise, it may seem like to you like, oh, time wise I'm not getting much more. I mean, English you just teach 2 days a week.
Blake said I watch
2.5 days.
But it's iffy for me. Iffy.
But if I wasn't tied to teaching English, it makes actually a huge difference, because if I shoot a vlog, then I can edit it the very next day or on that day. When I shoot a vlog, I'm more motivated to edit it and do something about it, but I've just fallen behind and I'm just trying to catch up on editing now, that I don't have time to shoot what I want to shoot. Like, for example, like a comprehensive video on where to stay in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm like, I should have done this already. And I haven't done it because it rarely do I ever get to shoot what I really want to shoot. Because I'm having to be reactive instead of proactive. And it probably hurts my channel quite a bit. I can't even remember all the videos I shot. There's a lot that I shoot, like I do a lot of extra work because I shoot it, I don't have time to edit it, so I just shot it for no reason, you know. I mean, later on I can go through it and get B-roll, but that in itself is work. So that's why I'm really motivated to try to take a year off and really focus on this channel, and with your guys' help, I'll really try to buckle down and just try to make the few $100s that I get from YouTube and between Patreon stretch, and just like go on this make or break deal, you know, make it or break it. If I focus all my effort into YouTube like that and I still don't like grow substantially enough to manage an income, then I'll probably have to really cut back on YouTube and try to find a normal full-time job, which then it's like, I don't know if I could regularly upload to YouTube, but yeah, I mean, it's come to a point where I have to sort of do something to make some kind of income. So, and hopefully, yeah, even if I have to do tours like once a week or twice a week in Korea, to make a couple $100 or whatever, hopefully I can shoot a video and then edit it, like, and get things done. One of the ways actually is I'm planning on working with another YouTuber to shoot his YouTube videos about Thailand for him. But he's going to pretty much cover for all the cost of traveling in Thailand. And I guess I'll get paid a couple $100, not that much. I think only a few $100s, but he's gonna cover for the cost of traveling and gear and give me a few $100s per month. So it's like 3 months that will last me 3 months to be able to like budget travel on my own. You know, that's how I'm thinking. And when I do that, because I'll be focusing so much of my effort onto his stuff, this channel is probably not gonna see regular uploads, but well, my main channel, this channel probably will, because I can do live streams and such while I'm on the tour with him. But the thing was, like, I'm thinking about the videos I want to shoot with him, with his sponsors and such, and it's like all these ideas, you know, all these ideas for my channel that I wanted to shoot that I didn't have the time or the resources to shoot, I can finally shoot. So I don't think you'll be missing out on much. You can watch that channel, it'll pretty much be my work, just with a different cast or and such, and you can get the same information, higher quality editing, you know, because I'm dedicating all my time to it. So I'll shoot something, edit it right away when it's fresh in my head. So like this Kanchanaburi one, I shot it with 2 different cameras. I had specific intentions for it, but it's taking me twice as much to think, oh, that's right, I wanted to do this transition. Like some of these montages are very intricate, and it's like I sometimes forget. It takes me a while to refigure it out if I'm revisiting editing something like 3 months after I shot it. So hopefully I could get that done for you guys. A lot of comments.
Yeah, they're talking about it. I believe a long format so you can see the random things. The guys that do the walking street live stream every night had a easiest job. You need to figure out how to have a go viral. I don't know how Cheap Charlie has so much viewers. He's boring. Haha. Cheap Charlie is a good guy. I met him on my last trip. Yeah.
Lately Cheap Charlie, yeah, the thing that honestly, in my opinion, knowing YouTube now, that's hurting me is I have just way too many interests. Yeah. And I've always sort of approached my channel not from the very beginning. I didn't approach it as my main primary objective for this channel is to just grow it or make money from it. And that, now in hindsight, I should have approached it like, I need to grow it, I need to get income from it, because I have all these skills now because I worked on trying many different kinds of videos, guys. I mean, in the beginning, I shot like, sort of like Cheap Charlie kind of videos with a GoPro, blah, blah, blah. And then I want to do better, like, give you guys better picture quality, so I use higher quality cameras. It's a lot of time and effort to learn these cameras and equipments. And then once you do that, then, you know, I switched up styles. Like, I tried narrating, and then I tried not to, and then I was more of a traditional vlogger as of late. But now I'm also thinking of going back into narration style. So while I do this, other people are just picking a formula that works and just sticking to it. And then their viewers keep watching every single one of their videos. Whereas with me, I don't get that traction, you know? Maybe individually each of these videos are great in its own right, but the YouTube algorithm doesn't work to promote, like, it's not smart enough to say, hey, this video is good for this kind of audience, let me try showing it to this different kind of audience, and this should be shown to this kind of audience. It's not smart enough to do that. YouTube algorithm is always working to try to narrow down your audience target group, you know? And they believe that there's one audience and one, like, particular demographic that suits your channel, which isn't the case with mine, you know? My channel has an identity issue almost as much as I have an identity issue myself. It's just, I can't even change it. I mean, it's just who I am. Like, I have just so many varied interests. I couldn't do something just boring and just stick to one subject. But unfortunately, that's what you need to do to grow your channel, because I think a lot of people on YouTube, when they go to a channel, they expect only one type of content, you know? And a lot of it's also just my inability to shoot the stuff that needs to be shot because I don't have time, you know? You'll see, and in hindsight, it actually ends up taking more time because I will just I can't say, hey, I want to shoot this and I shoot this today. It will be like, I only have 2 days this week, you know. Usually I only have 2 days to shoot, like, spend time with Mayu and shoot anything. But I'm spending time with Mayu, so I pretty much just do what she wants to do. And then I try to make that into a vlog, which is a lot different than, this is what's trending right now. Maybe a topic about ladyboys, or maybe a topic about, you know, where to travel in Bangkok, etc. Mayu, sacrifice your 2 days a week and let's go shoot this. I can't do that to her, you know? She only has 2 days a week. So it'll be like, why don't we check out, you know, this place here in Thailand, or this neighborhood, and I'll try to make a video as great as I can on that topic. But usually they're topics that people aren't searching for. They're very unique. Definitely not viral worthy content. So that's the reason why. And that is why I sort of want to take a break for a year and try to shoot the content that I think would help my channel grow. So I'm much different than most Thai vloggers. I mean, most of the Thai vloggers you'll see they don't have a job, you know. I have a job, so it's like 3 days I work, 2 days I'm editing, and 2 days I get to shoot. But those 2 days aren't like dedicated shooting days. They're days, the days I shoot on are days that I hang out with Mayu because it's her days off, and I basically try to shoot something interesting that we can both enjoy and she still enjoys. You get it? Yeah. Have you seen Bald and Bankrupt? That guy went from a couple thousand to 1.15. Shoots videos that don't need a lot of post-production work, like No Time to Be Sad. Nick, not my style, but it seems to work. No, I haven't seen Bald and Bankrupt. Sorry, don't compare the Walking Street guys to Ethan's channel. The quality are miles apart. The Walking Street guys, like, are trained. DMZ tours are very popular in Korea. Yeah, DMZ tours are very popular. I actually got to go on one. Learn how to act and be excited at every food you try. See Mark Wings. Yeah. Honestly, seriously, if I hyped up every food instead of trying to be, like, honest, it would definitely do a lot more for my videos too. I sort of feel like a piece of me dies inside when I do stuff like that, though. Hype things up. But I think maybe like, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna be more open to that. Would sort of like your opinion on it, but lately I'm thinking I will hype things up in the beginning, but as long as I put things in context and give the value score at the end, you know. So it's not like everything is amazing out here. I'll try to just enjoy it as much as I can, and then yeah. But I also have to decide. I mean, is this gonna be a food vlog, or is it gonna be a vlog about living out here, you know? And I just feel like there's enough food vloggers. Yeah. And if there is something I can add to that scene, I feel like it would be more of being critical about it. But nobody wants to see a food vlogger that's critical about the foods. They just want a food vlogger that just hypes it up. So, yeah, this is the issue. I think, honestly, I am considering going back to my narration style. And my video is forcing, the Kanchanaburi video is forcing my hand because I realized my mic setting was completely off. I would try to use an external mic, etc., and it was just the volume's all over the place. So I'm gonna use the B-roll and narrate over it instead of what I was originally intending to do, is where I talk and then put the B-roll on top of it. But I'll just use the B-roll and narrate over it. And I actually got this idea from another guy who said my channel was a lot like something Yusuf or something. His name sounded Middle Eastern, but he's some Filipino guy, I think. And I was watching his video and I actually quite liked it. And a lot of it is, I don't want to be that guy that does slow motion videos and, what do I say, virtue signals. You know that term? Like slow motions and then like talk about something that is like, I think we should all try to save the planet and you should try to do this and eat like this, etc. Because I don't think that highly of myself to be doing that, and I lived long enough to know everyone's got their own issues. They don't need me to be virtue signaling, I'm not the kind of guy that makes content for teenagers that maybe need that kind of virtue signaling kind of stuff. But I do think I could use it to be more authentic and talk about more of the struggles and the issues that I have and thoughts that are going through my head. That, yeah, I could be a bit more philosophical about it. This was a recommendation that I had from somebody else. Now, my Patreon streams are just maybe way too philosophical, maybe way too in-depth. Yay! Mayu got corn. And I maybe ramble on too long because I'm not going scripted, so it would be a mixture of this with my other vlogs. Almost like the vlogs that I've always done pretty good, like why I moved to Bangkok, Thailand, why I live in Bangkok, Thailand. I scripted it and I try to be more concise with all the thoughts I have in my head. I have a lot of thoughts, guys. That's why these streams can go on for hours and hours and hours. It's really hard to explain everything. And that's why, like, I'm not kidding you, it took me 2 weeks just to write the script for those videos because it's just too many thoughts and I need to compress it into 10 minutes, at the same time not mislead or leave out very important facts, So I just edited it. Maybe I won't go that crazy, but I will throw in more thoughts, like instead of saying, hey, look at this place, it's fantastic, these rice fields, like we go to these rice fields in Kanchanaburi, I could talk more while I'm looking at the video. There's other thoughts that come to my head, like like the feelings that I had when I first went to Vietnam and how that relates to this, and why I think it's important to sometimes see a bit of greenery. I don't know. Now that I'm in front of the camera live, it's really hard for me to say these kinds of things without sounding maybe too cheesy or corny. But I'll try it. I just hope it doesn't sound like it's virtue signaling. I really don't want to be that virtue signaling millennial type of vlogger that just slow motions travel and sing. Mayu, come here.
I have nothing to talk. Maybe you should mainly do the chatting with your subscriber.
Oh yeah? Guys, ask a question for Mayu. Ask a question for Mayu. I'll go through these while you guys think of a question for Mayu. That way she can talk. Divert living. Why does that sound familiar? Scott just travels to do live streams everywhere in Asia? Which Scott? Explore more. Yeah, Will Dasovich. I think I've seen his vlogs. It would be something more like that, maybe. You'll see, like, our Kanchanaburi trip. At that time, I was really burned out from vlogging. So I was just like, let's go do a relaxing trip. And I noticed I don't really talk much, you know. When me and Maya are really just traveling or just hanging around each other, we don't really talk that much, as you see in the vlogs. I try to get her to talk more, and I try to introduce everything. But it could get tiring. You know, and it is awkward. Like, people are always looking at you. So I could just shoot it as B-roll. Now that I have a monopod, it's sort of allowing me to do that. I can, like, set it somewhere, shoot the scene, and then I can narrate over it, you know. And then maybe just have little bits of me saying, interacting with the environment, you know, and directly with you guys. So it'd be a more third-person narrative kind of video.
Any good Japanese TV show to recommend? Nick asked me. What kind of TV show is that? Like comedy?
Huh?
I don't know if they have translated in English, but there's some do you remember the TV show I used to watch a lot? This very fat lady boy talk to the invited guest about one specific topic.
Babe, stay here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I'm still eating corn too. What about Terrace House? Terrace House you can watch from the what was the name? What's the name? Netflix. Yeah. So maybe it's good to watch, and then they have an English version of it. TV shows.
Honestly, I want to do a Terrace House Bangkok version of Terrace House. Yeah, I've talked about this. There's this one guy that I know. I was introduced through an acquaintance, and he said he wanted to do the
Guest house.
He wants to do a project called the quarter life crisis. Apparently, it's a thing. I mean, us who are having midlife crises will probably laugh at this concept, but you know, kids have it tough these days, or at least they think so. You know, no .com crash, no '07 meltdown, but these Gen Zers are having quarter life crises, identity crises in their 25 years, etc. Right? So he wanted to do like a discovering yourself kind of thing, where he probably charges them money, brings them out here, and then shows them around. To some degree, I felt like it's very similar to we saw this in Chiang Mai already with the drop shipping online marketing thing that just fizzled out after about a year, because this ended up being like a bunch of these kids will come out, spend all this money on these courses, just blowing all their money away and then going back home.
Oh yeah, they are all gone.
Yeah, you don't see them anymore. Also, dropshipping, I mean, by the time they brought it out when they knew it was too saturated and you couldn't really make it anymore. So, this seemed very similar, but at least it was more authentic, because you're not promising riches. It was targeted more at people who already made it, and then having come out here and pretty much partying the same way, and incubating like tech. But it had similar vibes. But I'm like, I do think it's interesting to, I do think when a young man comes out here, like 25, even me when I was 32, you go through a process of self-discovery and a lot of things happen. So I want to shoot this thing with him. And I said, well, he wanted me to market to my audiences to join him on this thing, and I'm like, well, I don't know exactly how you're gonna operate this, there's no real incentive for me to tell my viewers to go to your thing and then just end up making me look bad because I had these concerns. He seemed like a good guy though, but I'm like very cautious of this. I'm very protective of my channel because I work really hard to grow it. So I said maybe the way I could participate is, I could be involved in this as well, and I could like meet with you guys once a week and while we review the footage that you sort of shot on your phones or whatever of that week, we can like discuss together and talk about our different perspective on what may have happened and how you may have learned through this experience, etc. It'd be like interesting. It'd sort of be like Terrace House, sort of. That never really panned out though, because I think he wanted total control over everything, and I said, I wish you the best. I don't know if he's going through with it, but it's not gonna be easy to have people come out, But yeah, this was something I was thinking about. But I don't know if there would be anybody interested in doing that. Because it's not easy to be a YouTuber. And I just saw this comment, how do you just keep talking and talking and talking? If everybody could do what I could do, everybody would be a YouTuber. And even if you could do what I could do, you still can't be a successful YouTuber, as you can see. And I answered this many times, right? I can keep talking and talking and talking because like my first real job was I was a phone banker, and I would talk to 80-90 customers, have an average handle time of like 230 seconds per customer and solve their issues in 230 seconds and cross-sell them at a 15 to 20% rate, of which a quarter of them would be like equity loan referrals. It's like I was trained by the best to keep talking and talking and talking. So I have a probably very strong vocal cord as well. I know how to project my voice. And there is a part of me that is sort of shameless. It's not a normal trait that everybody has. But I think, particularly for like an Asian guy, generally Asian people were very like, try to save face. We're not very open. We're sort of secretive, private. We only like talk within our circles, but I don't know. Whatever psychological issues I had or trauma issues I had from when I was a kid just made me pretty open about everything, and I'm pretty shameless about it. Maybe it's because I'm actually relatively similar to my father in this sense. Why? Because I grew up watching him, because he's a pastor. Basically every day, every week, his sermons are a testimony of his life and what he experienced. Maybe that's why. As well, like that's what I grew up in a church, pretty much. Grew up with a father who pretty much talks about his life, what he experienced, and how he saw God or whatever. I don't talk about God or anything, but it's relatively similar. Like this is something I've just used to. It runs in the family, I guess. So you have to be able to do that, and you have to be completely shameless. I'm still not completely shameless. There's stuff that I'm probably ashamed of that I don't really talk to you guys about. And even if like I have the better judgment not to talk to you guys about it either, because even if I don't mind sharing it with you guys, like I know it's gonna hurt my YouTube like channel, or I might say something that's controversial, blah blah blah. But for the most part, you can't be afraid of the repercussions of what you say coming back and haunting you. You know, there's a certain amount of something I accept, which is like, oh, maybe I won't be, maybe I can't be a politician in the future or something. You know, like it's like, especially the younger kids know this. Whatever you say now, it's like it's such a politically correct world, and people love to take whatever you say out of context, that it's not everybody can be a YouTuber, and if you want to have a normal life, you shouldn't be. And Mayu's quite accepting of that. I'm grateful for it, but she herself is pretty, she has nothing to hide, you know, per se.
There's a lot of comment.
Dude, my could you
Yeah, when I sit here, I was gonna talk, but you start talking
Yes,
to
I'm
yourself,
sorry.
so it's like, should I leave or stay?
No, stay, babe. Please.
You know what? Jung Kim said, I was wondering what Mayu is looking at on the phone when she's on those live stream. Yeah, basically I'm reading the comment, and yes, I'm looking at myself through my screen. Yeah. But I like go through those, yeah, the comments and stuff. She's reading your comment, Jung Kimchi. Oh, she's watching herself. Oh, you are PK. You are a PK.
Today I feel really burned out. Sorry guys, I may be sounding like really
Negative today because you haven't done nothing today. You just woke up and then watched the Lakers match. And after that, I thought you were gonna go back to the editing.
Babe, I was editing this whole time. What are you talking about?
No. And then we start watching the movie. Normally I'm working on Thursday, but I got one extra day off. So actually, I suggest him to do something, but he sounds like not so excited.
No,
so
this week though, overall, it's been a real struggle to motivate myself to make these videos.
Yeah, he wasn't in front of computer for.
It has nothing to do with
hours.
you guys or the channel itself. It's more of a personal thing right now. Like, what to do? Like, the deadline is coming up. I need to either renew my work permit.
Tell us. Problem is Google is evil.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
don't trust them. The Chris said. Your
Google?
senpai Chris said.
Google?
Yeah, Google is evil. Come on, Ethan. We support you, John Kim said.
Thank you.
Eating at the same time, thank you.
I need energy.
That's funny. I was reading something. Mayu, what sites do you read, view for ideas? Sites? What do you mean sites? Website?
Ideas? What ideas? Ideas for what?
Ideas? I don't know. For John Pooker said, ask me. Mayu, what sites do you read or view for ideas?
Mayu doesn't have as many ideas as she has lots of emotions. She's a girl. She searches for emotions, not ideas. So she will like look at Facebook and look at all the funny cat videos and stuff like this.
I like to read those what do you call history thing. I like the Buddhist word thing. I really like to read it. Almost all my this is Buddhist pages. I have 3 pages open the Buddhist word and stuff, and another one is the cartoon. And the first one is about the spa booking. Yeah, I never close it because I always go back to read it. Yeah. your RCA video was good. Come on, Ethan. At 36, you are not allowed to have a age crisis. 40 almost. Hey, my Ethan. Ethan, I'm missing motorbike motorbike blogs. Have you decided to stop those video shots? You look prettier every time. Thank you.
I only did 2 of them, but I really want to do it. And actually, I even found the guy who would do like ADV China style with me. Who also has a YouTube channel. He's like, let's shoot it, but you know, I don't want to repeat my spill of why I can't be shooting stuff that I want to shoot lately. Just so busy catching up with the edits.
That guy? Did he contact you?
Yeah, I mean, I just talked to him too, but he's been fixing up his condo because he got a new condo. Remember?
Okay.
Really nice condo in a nice location, but it's an older one, so they've been doing a lot of renovation. Oh, well, I know he'd be down to do it anytime. It's just, man, there's so many ideas, so many things I want to do. Sometimes I'll do it, and then sometimes
maybe
it's a hit.
You should note it one by one, and you have to prioritize which one comes first, because it's all in your mind, I guess.
Actually, honestly,
I can help you if I know what kind of idea you have.
No, honest to God, as soon as I get this Kanchanaburi done, and this Kanchanaburi one I want to do because it's going to be unique. I shot like a really good like opening scene with Mayu, super good montage with her in swimsuits, everything. Fantastic view of the resort. We have some fantastic locations there, and I had a lot of feelings when I went there. So I want to show you guys this. And it's also another thing into my portfolio that I can showcase to like hotels or resorts, because I'm having to find ways where I can save on costs. So if I do stop working for a year, I mean, I have to rely on maybe these resorts or even the hostel or whatever saying, hey, I can stay there for free as long as I feature their whatever, which I have no issues with. But I need to show that I can do something that's like, not just like a standard, but like something a bit more cinematic. So I need to do this. And almost like how I did that one review video. Originally, I was just going to incorporate it. I don't want to make it like a full-on review video. But I said, hey, you know what? I'll do one because they didn't really pay me anything. You know? Like, I did probably too good of a job for not getting paid anything. Except, I do sincerely like the shoes. Like, originally, I wasn't going to do it, but after I wore the shoes, I'm like, I actually like them. You know what? And Mayu looks good in them. I'll do a full-on video so that if there is a company like Zion, which is like a gimbal company, they've reached out to me and they're like, we want you to do a video, but it's just sort of been on and off because I don't think I have enough subscribers to warrant them sending out such an expensive piece of equipment. But that would have helped me a lot because the gimbal that I use is also a Zion. I made a review video of it. I didn't make a very good review video, but they liked it enough that they wanted to send me out something. But it's like I wasn't in the States, and then it was too much work for them to send it out to Thailand, etc., so it didn't happen. But if I showed that I could do a really good video like MKBHD or those reviewer guys, I think they would have been more likely to send it to me, and that would have been like $500-600 I could have saved, because I had to spend money out of my own pocket to get that gimbal. You know, that's like 3 months of Patreon. 3-4 months of Patreon dues. You know, like we're nearing a third of your like a third of the year's Patreon dues just for that gear, which I could have done with just reviewing, or a whole month of my salary here teaching English. So that's why I'm trying to do all these videos to have in my portfolio, so when I do go out, I have something to show and hopefully grow my channel and make the kind of content I really want to make. Yeah, guys, I really do want to do some motorcycle videos. But if I do motorcycle videos, I think I'll put it on this channel as part of the neighborhood walk type of series or discussion series, and it wouldn't be like an edited one, more like ADV China. I was thinking of it that style, yeah. So actually, there is a higher chance you'll see that over anything else as soon as I catch up on the other thing. But I already promised 2 Thai YouTubers, like girls. You guys know one, Mo. She opened up a boba place, a bubble tea place. So I can't just promote her bubble tea place alone. But I said, hey, I'll just mention that you have a bubble tea place, and then there's this other girl that has a channel on teaching Thai. I said I was going to do a vlog with her, but I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone and meet both of you at this bubble tea place. Feature your bubble tea place if you talk about your experience dating in Thailand. Both of them actually have foreign boyfriends, and they're also both purely Thai. So I think it's like different if me and Mayu tell you how a Thai girl is. It's like there's things that I can't say because although I know it or my experience has been hugely like this, it seems racist. So I need them
to confirm it.
To confirm it or give me a different perspective,
Okay.
So I think that's actually I think that's interesting. That's a video I actually want to shoot. I've been putting it off and off and off because
You're corner of the screen.
Yeah.
Come back to the center. Wait. Midlife is more about life circumstances, Chris said. I retire early and only other retired people get the struggles.
My struggles aren't really identity struggles per se. I'm actually I used to have issues with identity back in the days, Now I'm actually very happy with myself. I'm happy with my girlfriend. I'm happy with my life. Now my issues are more like financial issues.
That you didn't have in the past.
I still had it in the past, honestly, but it's
Chris,
it's like
we didn't share on your message.
You wanna. Actually, I wouldn't have any financial issues, like just living and eating, but it's like there's something I really want to do, which is really make videos that I really want to make, and go to these countries and make videos about it.
Make your neck hurt.
But I can't afford to do it at the moment. And stressing out about how to get this done in a system that is rigged against you. It's tough.
Drink the bowl, Ethan. Maybe you keep your wings to fly.
What did you say? Red Bull?
Red Bull.
Yeah.
The wing to fly, no?
I think I need a gin and tonic.
Freedom takes some getting used to, Nicholas.
No, I don't have enough freedom. If I had... The only freedom I need right now is financial freedom. I don't believe in financial freedom, like I don't need to work. That would be great. It's just like freedom to do what I want to do. I don't want to teach English and interrupt my ability to YouTube, create content. That's what I want to do. It's to a point where even if I can work part-time, like shooting something I don't want, I would still rather do that than teach English.
4 people dropping because you're winning. Does Thailand celebrate anything similar to Halloween?
4 people dropped.
It was 21, I was 17.
Oh, yeah.
They have a call Thai Valentine Roy Kraton in November. It was just this Monday. Yeah, because celebrate anything similar, but it's not Halloween. There's nothing like ghost.
Yeah.
Or spirit. That kind of spirit.
Loy Krathong is more of a Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day in Thailand.
We did 2 videos and about it. Just I didn't know how to add more to it. Yeah. Actually, it would be... No, I sort of wanted to go to my thing was, my students told me the colleges do something. So we're about to go there, but Mayu was working until 11 that day. So We couldn't do Loy Krathong.
No, good on.
Yeah, me going alone on Valentine's Day just didn't seem right. So we didn't shoot it this year, guys.
Halloween. Yeah, I don't think people really celebrate Halloween though. I mean, they like to be.
They RCA was
nightclubs have a theme of Halloween. It's just for one night, but not like Tokyo. They close the main big street for this Halloween not parade, but they want to like, go on the street.
It's not as big as America for sure.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more comments?
Well, have you gone through all of them?
Yeah, finish
all. Yeah, guys. YouTube burnout.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm going through. So.
Because you cannot make decision yet. That's why you were in between, and then it's been like this for 2 weeks, I guess. Because he was expecting to get an answer for like next week, and it's extended for 2 weeks right now, and then.
Yeah. when things are completely out of your control, it's like frustrating. I don't want to go into the details of this.
But you can just let it go. You don't. It's out of your control, so you cannot. You don't need to worry about it.
No, I do have to worry about it because I have to tell my work
that's why I
by
told you
this week.
Yeah, I told you you don't need to quit right away.
No, I do need to quit right away.
Even you continue working for a year next year, you can still quit.
No. Okay, so let me tell you why, babe. I don't know why you don't Actually, I never fully... I assumed. But my work has to pay a fee for the work permit, guys. They do all the processing and everything.
Yeah.
My work permit ends in December 12th. So I need to start renewing process right now. And they said, bring me the documents by today. Actually, here. I have it. They gave me this. Bring me... I already know what I need. It's not much. But I don't want them to start processing all this. And God forbid, they give me a work permit that goes live on December 12th. And they pay... It's a lot of money, considering I'm only getting paid, like... My salary is only, like, $500. Lately, it's been $300, $400, because students drop out. It's quite significant, because the fee to process this is almost a month's pay, So, let's say they do that, and then I quit. Not even a month into it. Because this tour is supposed to happen in January. You know what I'm saying? They're less likely to give me a job when I come back. I want to leave on good terms.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, in that case, yeah, maybe.
You understand?
Then now I understand the point.
It's not like I have lots of different hotels I can go work at. This is like the only place I know where I can work part-time as an English teacher and still get a work permit. So if this deal doesn't work...
You're criticizing my work.
No, I'm not criticizing. I'm saying that you have a lot of options. You're not able to empathize with my current situation.
No, I understand now, but you want to leave without any conflict.
Yeah, I want to leave on good terms. I want to say, hey, I'm going to take a break for a year, try to, work on this thing. And I have a pretty good relationship with my work and my boss. He knows I'm a YouTuber. He knows this is my passion. And also, my grandfather's feeling sick, so I want to be with family. I think he's going to be okay letting me go for a year, right? It's not like he's paying me. It's just, but I cannot have them spend money to renew my work permit when I'm not even going to take advantage of it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It'd be another thing if I was going to work 6 months. Then I could probably make up for their costs with the classes that I teach, etc. But I want to be upfront and honest with them, and I cannot delay any further. But the person that I'm supposed to go on tour with is delaying because it's not him, but it is the sponsors. But, he assures me it's going to happen anyways, but the reason I can't fully commit to that is because this tour has already been on hold for 2 years, guys. I kid you not. I don't know if you remember, the first time I ever did a live stream, I said, there's a big announcement I'm about to make, and it was this. And it's been delayed.
2 years now.
Almost like 2 years. So that's
Many
why
people commenting about
that's why I don't wanna like count the eggs in my basket before, you know. So I don't want to disappoint myself because a lot rides on this. Let's say I quit and this tour doesn't happen. Then I am SOL out of luck, you know? But whatever, I guess I'll still make it happen. I'm still leaning towards, you know. But it's tough. It's like I don't have any source of income.
Okay.
AdSense, guys, it's like lately it's only been like $100 a month. But I was motivated. I saw this one video about this other guy. He has like 1 million subs. I don't think his videos are all that great, but I think he got a lot of traction going on tours to North Korea and stuff. But he was talking about his struggles as a YouTuber too, and his sentiments are very similar too. He said he had about 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers. But even when he had more, he said he was only making like $200 a month. It's just hard for me to believe, but maybe he has less CPM or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's the reality, guys. Unless you're like the top guys, where the YouTube algorithm favors them and they're making hand over fist, is that the term, in money, in AdSense money? Most of the guys you see on YouTube, like I would say 9 out of the 10 YouTubers in Thailand are making maybe $10 a month on ads. Like I'm actually relatively big for a Thailand blogger. I'm making 100 on a good month when I have a viral video, $200 on AdSense. So it's really you guys, the Patreons, that really help me a lot because it almost doubles that, you know? And, you know, $200 might not seem like a lot of money for all the time and effort and all the videos I put out there, but it is because, you know, that it's what helps me buy the gear that I need to make the quality videos. Because gear isn't expensive, you know? Especially the gear that I use, like, camera is like $2,000. So you guys are really a huge help to this channel. But yeah, deciding to just sort of quit your job and then like this, it's different. It's different than quitting my job in America. It's more like I was quitting my life and I had a good savings. But here it's like I'm maintaining a good life. I don't need to quit. Like I'm already sort of missing the possibility of not being able to see Mayu on a daily basis, you know, and everything. So it's a tough. That's a whole other struggle for me. But at the same time, I know that this is my calling, you know. Am I speaking like a? This is like a.
This is my calling.
This is a religious term. I don't know how else to describe it.
Many comments about your thing.
This is my calling. Like, I want to somehow. A part of me does want to put myself in an uncomfortable situation because that's also when I feel the most alive, and that's when I'll be most motivated to do something, and not feel so shackled by a routine. I'm in a very comfortable routine. I think that's the difference between here and my life in the States. I was in an uncomfortable routine there. Here I'm in a comfortable routine. Happy routine. But I don't know, there's a thing inside of me that says I would regret dying not having pursued this YouTube thing. Really making the videos I want to make. You know, going to the places I really want to go. And me staying here and teaching English, making a few $100s a month is not gonna allow me to do that. And because of this arrangement, I've also had many opportunities I had to pass up in the past, which I already regret. You know, like friends telling me, hey, you know, I'll fly you out to Colombia or whatever, you can stay with me, you know, I'll pay for all your expenses. I couldn't do that, you know, like, I can't. I gotta go see my grandfather, and that's the only time I have for vacation. I can only like take 2 months a year off here, spend 1 month there for Korea, and I already spent 2 weeks in Hong Kong, so I can't do something like that. Yeah. But at the same time, I guess if I do succeed and make it out of this, there is, you guys will be my witness. Like, you've been here with me from the beginning. How much of a struggle this is, and that I had to earn it. It's tough choices. Respond to the comments, babe.
It's all about you, babe.
Huh? You can answer me. You know me better than anybody.
You need a change, Chris said. Where are you going to travel to next? Maybe Korea. He's going to maybe Korea. And go with the flow yet. Try hard what you really love and don't just give up. Yeah, this is really good answer. And there are tons of English teaching job there. There's a lot of teaching English job, but he like where he works, I guess. John Chen said, just quit. Just quit. Or just get the work permit. You sounds like an honest guy, but you need to look out for yourself first. Johnny Kim. You are not technically screwing them because you don't know. If the tour doesn't happen, then you are still so. Don't rely on them don't rely on them too much. Keep trying other options. Why wait for 2 years?
Well, I didn't.
See,
I wasn't counting on this, but...
Any regrets leaving 6-figure job in finance?
Any regrets? That I don't regret. I don't regret leaving America.
You need to make the video sharing scorpions with lady boys at the Bangkok night market and put mice butt on the thumbnails. You are already pretty good at that part, and off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering that same. Is it tough to get a job in finance in professional service companies like Deloitte, PwC, ATC, Bangkok? Can you share with us how did you started living in Bangkok? Esmond. It's important to put an emphasis on staying positive, Jackson. I know exactly what you're talking about. I am in the same situation where where you are at right now, but you are a lot farther than where I am now. Joking.
Maybe. I guess this is the toughest time right now to make the decision. And I'm a relatively risk adverse kind of guy, guys. You might think of me as like some carefree soul or whatever, but generally I make decisions
carefree
calculated
a lot.
I think it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling right now because there is no easy answer to this. Yeah. So that's why I'm not necessarily being as negative as I am exhausted right now. Does that make sense? So it may come across to you as I'm being negative and being down, not positive about the future. Quite contrary, I'm actually far more excited about the prospect of my future if I quit. And that is why I want to quit. But I am really exhausted at all this thinking that I've been doing about, how I'm going to make this work. And there's a lot of other issues I'm not gonna go into, like family issues and stuff. Ooh. Yeah. But I have you guys, and honestly, you guys are a lot of help, a lot of strength. I wish I could be more positive because usually it's me that is acting positive for you guys, but it's just I've been really exhausted this week because I similar feelings of when I had like a loan and I'm waiting for the underwriter to approve it. I know I'm right. Just a matter of time. But the escrow deadline is tomorrow. You know, if everybody did their jobs correctly, it would work. But no. Yep, I have to shoulder the responsibilities because things just don't happen on your schedule. But that's just life, you know. I guess some people are privileged to have enough of a cushion where if it doesn't work out, they'll still make it. But to me, it's a huge risk because I really don't have that much of a savings or much of an income. So these decisions really, really, really impact me, you know. I was discussing like financial. When was it that I was discussing about money?
Wait.
Oh, my students.
Oh.
My students. I have 2 students. They're pretty young. Oh, yeah, those are the students. That's why I was late on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I'll keep teaching them, but they're like 21, 22. In the beginning, I try to get to know them, to see what kind of topics they want to talk about, etc. They're Thais. One of them's a coder. He makes web pages. Another one codes on the side, but he wants to be a stock broker. I said, what do you want to be? One of them's like, I want to be really, really rich, like Mark Zuckerberg. Be a top tech guy.
Okay.
You know, I try not to laugh at people's dreams. But you know, I know that this is tough, you know. But that's irrelevant, what he wants to be. I just need to know what his motivators are. Why he's motivated. So I'm like, why do you want to be really like Mark Zuckerberg? He's like, because I want money, because money you can buy pretty much anything and I'll be happy. Second most important thing to me is family. And I don't want to assume that he's just short-sighted, right? So I'm like, when do you think would be like enough money where you'd be happy? What do you want to do with this money, etc.? They couldn't really answer. They just think money is sort of the answer, right? And I just sort of talked to them about my views on money, how the system is sort of rigged, you know? Like the points where I realized that the system is totally rigged. The example I gave was one time I was working at a bank as a banker. It's the first time I realized it. I was making like 50, 60,000. Just a normal personal one banker, PB1. And some guy comes to me with $1 million. It was a woman. She was just recently widowed. She didn't know what to do with the money. And I think she was a Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witness people, they sort of like tell each other what to do. So her other Jehovah's Witness like people told her, you should put it in a savings account. What's your best rate? I was like 0.05, 0.5 or something. It was really low.
Yes.
Yeah.
More. Japan is lower than that.
It's like 0.5%. So she's like, put it in there. She was quite confident, and I felt ill-advised that she should lock it up into something, you know, it's like the CD that was gonna lock it up at only 5 years for only 0.5% or something, because that's right when the '07 crash happened, and our rates were particularly low, and we didn't know that the prime rate was going to be continually that low until now. In hindsight, it's like over a decade of low prime rate. Who would have imagined that, you know, the government would have done something so irresponsible as to keep the prime rate so low? Nobody would have expected, but at that time, actually 0.05 was pretty good, because now it's even less, I think. But I was like, how much interest is it going to make? Was it 0.5 or 0.05? No, it was 0.5. It couldn't have been 0.05. Alexa, what is 0.05% of $1 million?
0.05% of $1 million is $500.
0.05? Why? It was like... No, it wasn't 0.0. It was 5%.
5%.
Was it 5%?
5% is really good.
It was a CD. Yeah, it was a CD. Now it's good, but back then it was horrible, I thought. Oh, it was
Lawrence is on Bay.
Yeah, it was 5%. And then now I think it wasn't a CD. It was fixed rate annuity. That's right. And she was tying it up for a whole year. Now in hindsight, it was Province, or started with P, Prudential. She said, this person is offering me 0.5%, 5% lifetime return on $1 million. And as a financial advisor, I couldn't advise on that. We never recommend tying up something in an annuity, because the early termination fee for an annuity is like 50% of your principal. It's a lot.
$500,000.
Yeah. And then it was like, but she was going to get guaranteed 5%, which at that time was better than that's, now I remember. But...
So what do you want to say?
Okay, but I was thinking, when I actually did the calculation, it's $50,000 a year. You know? And I was thinking, I'm like, Jesus, this woman, just because her husband died and left her $1 million, is gonna make as much as I do, guaranteed. Like, the worst thing she can do with her money, she's still gonna make as much as I make working my butt off. You know? And then it made me think. I'm like, wait a minute. What about these people with $1 billion? I'm not even talking about 36 billion like Mark Zuckerberg. $1 billion. Or even like, it's relatively, like, I see people leave their kids like $2 million or $3 million, right? Then it's like, oh, $100,000, $150,000. And I'm like, what did my life account to? Like, so far in my life, 7 years, I had to learn how to gain motor skills, etc. Then another, like, 12 years I spent going to high school. I had to get education for 12 years. Then I had to go to college for another 4 years and also pay money. I had to, like, enslave myself to the U.S. military to do that. And other people, they have to enslave themselves to, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac or whatever for $100,000, $200,000, go in debt for the right to make $50,000. You know what I'm saying? But these people are just handed $50,000 of income. So if you consider it, like, they have all of their life, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, freed up to pursue whatever they want, and do what they want, whether it's like start a business or whatever. They don't even need to make any money. They can do whatever they want. Whereas with me, I have to work 5 days a week just to make ends meet. And then 2 days a week, well, at that time, I have 1 day dedicated to church. So I only have 1 day a week, honestly, to pursue the hobby or increase the skills that I really want to. You know what I'm saying? And I work so hard to get a job at a financial institution to make money so that I can have financial freedom. Like, this was when it just, I'm like, huh.
Blows your mind.
Yeah, it blew my mind. Even someone with $3 million is gonna have 3 times more of lifetime than me. Well, I mean, what truly is life, you know? Like, and why does society say that this person is worth 3 times as much as me? Just because he was fortunate enough to have a father, basically. And you know how taxation in America is working. They've only, lowered the estate tax. They've only lowered capital gains tax. It's to a point where, me earning, it's like income tax is higher than capital gains tax. So they're even getting taxed less on this money. And I had to realize, all these pipe dreams of me, the American dream, being successful, maybe I could get to a comfortable level, but it's the odds are against me, Time is money, time is everything. Like, if I had time, I could be the greatest content creator. I could learn all the skills required if I had time, But I cannot compete with somebody who has all of their time freed up to pursue what they want and increase the skills they want. And then after they succeed, then they can go and then sort of virtue signal and say, I was successful because I was more motivated than somebody like me. Which then you realize is total BS, You had all this free time. Yeah, obviously, unless you see where I'm getting at? So the system is rigged. And that's when I sort of had an inkling, like, oh, I wasn't ready to quite give up on the American dream at that point, though. I was like,
so what's the point of talking to your student?
Well, I sort of gave him this speech. I did.
Oh, yeah.
And then they proposed, what should you do? And I'm like, well, if everybody could agree, we should all agree not to work. Because right now, because that's the only way that it would work. Right now, capital is valued more than labor because it's a matter of supply and demand. There's too much supply of labor, especially with women, working now. You have twice as much supply of, more than twice, because there's an increase in population as well since like the 70s, right, in America. So you have oversupply of labor. They don't value it. So you should just not work. It could be all the men could agree, hey, you know what? Women want to work. Let's reverse roles. Let the women be the bread earners and we can be, we can raise children or whatever. Because labor is required, It's just, you're just increasing the demand. But it's like everybody would have to agree. Because they can compensate for it with immigration, etc. But, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, let's not work. And I'm like, no, it's not going to work because the government's going to compensate for it with immigration. And for every person who is enlightened to this fact, there's 5 other, robots that will continue working and think they can become Mark Zuckerberg, But at least they had a reality check. They knew that the system is stacked up against them and that they needed to have more realistic goals, And I said, hey, so you want to be Mark Zuckerberg? What is your 5-year goal, 10-year goal, 15-year goal? How are you going to reach that status? And then they sat there and they thought about it. One of them is just sort of gave up. And the other one's like, I'm going to, by 5 years, I'm going to convince, 5 friends to, start a company with me. And then I'm going to acquire 20 million baht in venture funding. And then another 10 years, I will start, diversifying into other countries. And then 15 years, I'll become like Mark Zuckerberg. I'm like, that's good. You at least have benchmarks to get there, Not just hoping that, not just buying into this crap. Just only hard work and dedication is going to get you everything. Because that's not how it works, So yeah. That was my little speech to them.
What was that?
That was my English class.
No, I mean, what was the point? The talking about your student in the beginning.
Because they need a reality check. They were just sort of mindlessly thinking money is gonna make everything better. Money is gonna be happiness. Because, I'm sorry, the fact of the matter is you're not gonna be as rich as Mark Zuckerberg. And if they don't reach that goal of becoming like Mark Zuckerberg, and their expectation is to become like him, and their expectation to become like him is simply based upon the premise that they just work their butts off, I'm sorry, the system is rigged. They're not going to become Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg had a lot of things. He may have been a self-made man, but his timing was right, his particular skill was good, he was at the right place at the right time, and I do give him credit. I mean, he also had the courage to take the initiative to do it. But even if somebody has the initiative to do something, riches come from preparation meets opportunity. He apparently, I mean, everyone can be prepared to be rich, but you have to be lucky to have that opportunity. So your expectation shouldn't be that anyone can be like Mark Zuckerberg, because that's not true. Motivation alone doesn't get you that. You need a combination of things, you know? Yeah. I mean, imagine if I started YouTubing like 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure I'd be far more successful now. It's like timing. Timing is very important. So these are kinds of reality checks that people need. So that, 30, 40 years down the road, they don't have midlife crisis. They're like, you know what? I thought I should already be like Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm not. And then be super depressed and kill themselves or something, because their expectation didn't come to fruition. So having more realistic expectations and being content with that, I think leads to far greater happiness. That's my thing. So with me, I've already sort of set out how I would be happy. I would be ecstatic and really, really happy if somehow I can do anything related to film or video to fund my lifestyle of being able to travel and show you guys new experiences, etc. I'd be ecstatic, But if I can't, because the fact of the matter is, it's like, I've been trying for like the last 3 years. I'm getting there, but YouTube just keeps making it harder and harder for smaller creators for like us. If I don't get there, I should still be open and be able to be content with an alternative, which is like, you know what? Maybe I'll go teach English in Japan and live a okie dokie comfortable life with Mayu. Maybe I don't have the time to vlog, but I'll still be able to have great experiences, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying, babe? I could still be happy with that. But I would be content knowing that I tried and I failed. It's not that I didn't try hard enough. It's not that I had the courage to leave my comfort zone and such and such. It's just that I'm one of those people where the timing was off. It just wasn't meant to be for me. And I wouldn't feel bad about it. I wouldn't feel any less of a man than Mark Zuckerberg because he made it happen. Because I know it's not a lack of me not being brave enough to take the move or me not preparing myself. I've certainly YouTubed many years, long enough now to be pretty much prepared to take any challenges of being a YouTuber. It just wasn't the right timing, that kind of thing. All right, Mayu, why don't you read?
Huh?
Please read.
Going to Oh, I just noticed that you delete all of those blog plans.
Vlog plans?
Yeah, they have a lot of things on the window.
What are vlog plans? Are you reading a comment?
This one.
Oh.
Here.
Actually, I actually did all of them. Except for the Korea trip, which I decided I'm not going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so I deleted it. What Maya's talking about, I wrote on the window here all the vlogs I had to catch up on.
Alright.
Pretty cool because this is glass. I just get a marker and I wrote on here. I don't know if you guys seen it before, but I didn't erase Mayu and Ethan's little heart thing. Yeah, I actually ended up catching up to a lot of them. All the ones that I wanted to do that was interesting anyways. I had a lot of vlogs that I shot in 2007 in Korea. Those unfortunately will never see the light of day. I would love to show it to you guys, but I don't think you guys are even interested. I mean, I know you guys are my Patreons. You guys are interested in all the stuff I do, but I released 2 videos on Korea. And I really personally liked them on a personal level, but it just never really got traction with the viewers, so I guess my viewers aren't interested. So I was humbled enough to admit, people aren't really interested in my Korea vlogs. So I decided, you know what, I might still do the ones that I shot recently with more recent techniques, etc. I can't even remember what I shot, honestly, in 07. I might have to revisit it because my visit in 07, especially to the countryside when my grandfather was still relatively healthy, I want to look at it for my own personal reasons because it'll help me remember a lot of the feelings I had making that visit at that time. In perspective to him passing away 2 years later now, Well, he's still alive, but we don't expect him to be alive for too long. So a lot of these changes are happening in my life. So I had 2 Korea trips this year, so I still have those. I'm still not giving up on those. I'll try to edit those out and get it out to you guys, but the videos I did in 07, not gonna edit it. So that's why I just erased that. Yeah. There's some other stuff, like when Show DC, this mall that's next to us, that's now about to almost go out of business, first opened, I shot that too. That's just so irrelevant now because it's maybe it will be relevant when Show DC is about to go out of business. I can show you how it was when it first opened. Yeah, so I'm like, not gonna. There's tons of other vlogs I still need to get to. So. Oh, Johnny Kimchi's saying he supports me. Thanks, buddy. The level of risk you need to take on as you get older can be a bit scary. Yeah. You gotta risk it for the biscuit. Esmond's like, why don't you look for a 9 to 6 office job in Thailand? I don't think that would ever happen. 9 to 6 office job in Thailand? If I was to get a 9 to 6 job, I would probably just go to Korea. Yeah. It's a lot easier for me to find a job there. They'll pay me a lot more. And there's not much of a difference having a live 9 to 6 office job there, in Korea, maybe even in America. It's still a 9 to 6 job, But at least Korea is more interesting than America. I think I could even save more than America. I mean, because you have health insurance, everything. There's not as much overhead costs like America. So even if you get paid less, it's not that much less, and you end up saving more, so you can travel more. So and it's not gonna cost me like $1,000 just to fly out here. It's only like $150. So guys, be aware that if I go to Korea, it's not like I'm gonna stay there. Right now the plan is staying there 2 months, staying out here in Thailand for 3 months, doing a month backpacking, traveling really cheap in another country, then doing 2 months in Korea again, 3 months out here, and then another month. That is the plan, but most likely I'll probably have to just work my ass off for but yeah. We'll see. I don't know. How about that farm idea with your aunt? Sounded like a great gig. Oh, that was a good idea, but my aunt has now abandoned it. She believes that she'll be too bored just being farming out there. Which I don't blame her. Yeah, it'd be great if I was a scuba instructor. But I think scuba instructors, they're mainly hiring Thais, you know. It's tough. Like in Thailand, it's really, really tough to get a job because they will always hire a Thai person over you. Yeah, I mean, legally, if they can hire a Thai person, they have to hire a Thai person over you. It's like the system is set up here, so that'll happen. You can't even accept the lower pay. You know what I'm saying? That's why the only way I can get a lower pay than like the minimum 40 or 50,000 baht a month is by working part-time, because Thais are required, if a company wants to hire, they have to pay you like 50, 60, 70,000 baht a month, whereas Thais don't have that requirement. So a company, even if the Thai isn't as qualified, because they can pay the Thai legally a third of what they need to pay you, they'll usually hire them, you know. Zuckerberg went to expensive private schools and could read, write French, Hebrew, Latin, Ancient Greek, and was an expert fencer by high school, not including his private computer program tutors. Wow, I didn't know that. There is a deficit in guillotines. I like how you pronounce Mike Zuckerberg. Yeah, I don't know his name. To me, it looks like zucchini, so I say Zuckerberg, like zucchini.
I thought Zuckerberg.
Oh yeah? Zuckerberg?
I don't know. I thought Zuckerberg, but I don't know.
I don't care what his name's pronounced like. I don't respect him enough to care how to pronounce his name. I now pronounce him Mike Zuckerberg.
Based on zucchini.
Yeah, it looks like a zucchini, so that's how I remember it.
Zucchini.
Zuckerberg?
I don't know, because when I see news, I always watch Japanese. When I say Zuckerberg, it's like Z-A.
Zuckerberg.
Berg is like...
It's Zuckerberg to me. It's a zucchini hamburger. Zuckerberg.
You blaming a name like...
No, that's how I remember it.
Zucchini hamburger.
Yeah.
Why both of them are food?
Well, it's his fault for spelling it that way. Isn't that how you spell zucchini? Starts with Z-U-C and then K, right? I don't know how you spell zucchini, actually.
C-C. You have to put C, not the K.
I think that's how it's spelled. Zucchini burger.
Oh,
That's how I remember it. Zuckerberg. I mean, if you want people to pronounce your name correctly, have a simple, easy name like me. Moon. 1 syllable. You know? Then it's like Zuckerberg. 3 syllables, very complex. It's probably not even English origin. It probably has a French or German origin, so it's not even spelled right. So you can't expect everyone to pronounce it right, you know?
your moon is actually M-U-N, not the M-O-O-N.
Babe, the moon in the sky is spelled M-O-O-N.
No.
If I spelled M-U-N, then you know how an American should pronounce it? Mun. That's how I would read it.
But your writing in Korean is M-U-N, not the M-O-O-N.
No, it is. It is moon. Like the moon in the sky. That's exactly how you pronounce it. Moon. Now, I'll tell you.
Zucchini.
I'll tell you. If my, like, before I got my citizenship in the States, my first name was Oh Kyung, right? Oh Kyung, right? It's a super hard name for Americans to pronounce because they don't have the ability to compress many consonants into one syllable, which Koreans can do, right? Kyung. So it's like, what is this concept? It's like a G and a K mixed together, you know? But Americans will never wrap their head around how to combine consonants. Like Koreans can. It's just our language allows us to. So they would go Oh-kyung or Oh-kyung or Oh-kun or it's like I'm like so I'm not saying like I'm the kind of guy who's how do you say it's not I'm not being a hypocrite. When people couldn't pronounce my name, what did I do? I changed my name to accommodate them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not expecting any and if they screw up my name, I wasn't one of those people that said, no, that's not how you pronounce it, this is how you pronounce it. I could be completely understanding of the fact that they would screw up the pronunciation of my name because, first of all, my father didn't know any English, so he spelt it in like a... It's like, why'd you add a K in there, Dad? Like, you know? Oh Kyung. You know? If you want that, it should be O-H-G-Y-U-N-G. But then you spell it O-K-Y-U-N-G. You know? So, I'm like, you know what? I completely understand. From an American perspective, you screw it up. And it's very inefficient for me to correct everybody that calls my name. And even if I've actually attempted to correct them, and they can't even pronounce it. It's just not in the English language, the American pronunciation, to be able to pronounce Oh-kyung, you know? It's just not, that sound doesn't exist. A G and a K sound together. So, yeah. What did I do? I changed my name to accommodate for them. Ethan. Quite easy. The foresight that I didn't have, though, is that Koreans cannot pronounce Ethan.
Japanese do. And even Thai too. Ethan.
No, Thais don't know how to pronounce Ethan either.
Yeah, Japanese too. They can pronounce TH sounds.
Yeah. So, yeah. So they screw up my name here. It's just fine. It's okay. Ethan or like Ethan or like it's fine. Alright. I'm Ethan in Korea. Ethan in Thai and how would Japanese people say my name?
Isan.
Isan. I'm Isan in Japanese. I don't sit there and correct them. Just like Zuckerberg. Yeah. Your ass spelt your name like a zucchini and a burger, so I'm gonna pronounce it Zuckerberg. Alright? Don't be sitting there and wasting my time and all the other millions of people that are supposed to say your name and try to, like, you know.
You have to consider he's not that big because you don't know how to pronounce his name. Everyone knows how to pronounce Donald Trump, right? So it's like he's
Trump.
not big enough.
He spells the name exactly like a very common word that we use in America, which is the Trump card.
Okay, zucchini
So, yeah.
and hamburger is it's common, so it's common.
So, I mean, it's not that I don't respect... So I will try to remember to say... What is it? Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg? Okay. I will now try to say Zuckerberg. But...
I don't know it's true how do you really pronounce it though. Because I don't really
No, I mean, if that is, I will respect it and try to say Zuckerberg. It's just, I cannot guarantee I'll remember. Because you guys know, I have a very, very bad memory. It's like, I'm really bad with names. You can attest that my short-term memory is shot to bits. It's just, my memory is not, like, I'm always, like, I have so many thoughts in my head. I'm one of those guys that are very scatterbrained. So I can never remember people's names. So that's why I have to like, I'm not like making fun of him. That's how I remember a zucchini and a burger. Like I have to like use images to sort of remember certain names and things like this. And there's nothing that is gonna help me remember Zuckerberg.
Oh, he said Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg?
Z-U-U. Z-O,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I may still pronounce it, but it's not because I'm disrespecting or I'm just insisting that I'll. It's just that's how I remember it. I'm sorry, so it may happen. It's a whole different story with my Pattaya issue, though. Pattaya, as far as I'm concerned, I have heard just so many discrepancies on how to pronounce that correctly that I have just given it up. That's why I stopped doing it. You know? And and it is a word that clearly when I ask other Thais, not other expats, when I ask other Thais, they are perfectly fine with saying Pattaya. Yeah? As a matter of fact, everyone I've talked to have said Pattaya is the correct way to pronounce it. It's just the intonation that is wrong. But even amongst Thais, the intonation changes depending on what region they're from. So even they can't agree. But I do know that the consonants, the way I'm saying it, Pattaya, is correct. And exactly the way they spelt it. So I'm just sticking it to that way so that I'm not like adding to the confusion, you know, because you'll have foreigners say it's Pattaya, which is completely wrong because it's a completely wrong like vowel. It's not a E, it's a, you know. And they try to like imitate Thai's intonation. They go Pattaya. And that just sounds ridiculous to a Thai person too when I ask them that. So they actually say Pattaya is relatively acceptable. Yeah. So I just stick to Pattaya. And it's also easy for me to remember because it sounds like papaya. You know? Pattaya papaya. I don't know. Papaya. People that it's like I'm not gonna say why papaya like seems like a easy one for me to remember of that city. I sold out and retired. Yep, that's a good choice. Zuckerberg didn't self-make anything. Stealing the idea of Facebook for certain twins is how you get there. Exactly. This chat reminds me of macroeconomics, but instead of guns or butter, it's generated income or freedom. A bit confounding. Oh. Facebook was copied version of Orkut. Was it? What I remember is before Facebook was popular at all, I was doing MySpace, guys. You guys remember MySpace? I actually liked MySpace. The only reason I switched to Facebook was because all my other friends switched to Facebook. I like being able to personalize MySpace and like putting my own music and stuff on there, putting my own like unique HTML codes. Like I was a geek back then, so yeah. So yeah, I live comfortably teaching English in Japan, but I want to be a YouTuber. All I want is 1,000 subs and I'll be happy. Just like Gates, private school kids being given graduate school computer education one-on-one in middle school from experts in the field, for sure. Then he... Siam is like, make a video in Pattaya focusing on girls and attract the thumbnail. It'll lead to 1,000 subs faster. That'll get you 1,000, yeah. I'm basically getting an annuity of like 7%. However, I pay US income tax. I'm thinking this doesn't seem equitable compared to capital gains tax. What? You have to pay income tax on an annuity, not capital gains? Maybe, because they're giving it out to you as dividend. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Taxation is confounding to me in America. There is a very successful travel YouTuber who said that every time he changes the country, the views drop. Only he sticks with it, and the views go up after a while. Then he changes the country again, and the same cycle happens. I know this YouTuber. I saw his video. What's his name? But yeah, I completely agree. And that's why I do want to travel, because I want to just do a series on, like, just like him. Just do a series on Thailand, do a series on Malaysia. But like here, I'm always switching back and forth just because in between there's always somebody who wants to collab, and it's like... So I just want to have a simple life. Shoot, edit, shoot, edit, shoot, edit. Not like have a backlog of all this stuff I need to edit after I shoot it. Always being chased for time. And then like I'm horrible at saying no, so I agree to all these collabs, and then I end up having to prioritize that because, you know, when you do a collab, they expect you to get it out. This is why. So, but I agree. Mike Zuckerberg. That's how you should spell it. Maybe I would remember that better if you spelt it like a zoo. It's like a zoo burger. Zuckerberg. Your way of saying Pattaya sounds good to my ear. Not that I know much about Thai. Thanks, buddy. Chris is like, you old MySpace. MySpace, is it? Yeah, maybe. Maybe, like, all the college kids don't know about MySpace ever, right? It's like, it's probably like someone talking about, like, how Ozzy Osbourne was cool or something, you know. 70s rock stars and stuff. Saying like Saturday Night Live Fever or whatever. It's like, talking about Grease or something. Harold Balder, yeah, that guy. Do a series in Singapore. I do want to do a series in Singapore. Cheap Charlie was up country at a bus station and wanted to get a bus back to Pattaya, but he pronounced it like Brits. He said they couldn't understand him, and he was embarrassed. Yeah, guys, Thais are quite picky about pronunciation when it comes to understanding, but there is one word they will understand. They will understand Pattaya. You know, there's other things. I mean, if you really want to be respectful, I would say start out with not stressing so much about the nuances, the slight differences of Pattaya, but maybe you can start saying Krung Thep instead of Bangkok, you know? Why don't you start with that? That's probably far more, like, respectful to a Thai than you trying to get the nuances of pronouncing Pattaya, which is a foreigner city to them anyways. You know, respect the capital by calling it by the correct name. But I just see too many, like, Pattaya patrols out there. Honestly, no one cares about Pattaya except for foreigners. Literally. That's a foreigner city. You know? People will care about the capital of Thailand, though. So, I think there should be a rule. Before you have the right to correct anybody on the pronunciation of any city in Thailand, learn the full name of Bangkok first. And then anoint you with the right to be able to go out there and correct the mispronunciation of everybody who mispronounces whatever city in Thailand wrong. But at the same time, you'll realize that Thais have different accents, you know? So a Thai person from Bangkok is going to say Pattaya different than someone in the north or the south. So, yeah. I don't think there should be any foreigner correcting any foreigner on how to pronounce Thai unless they are a real expert. It's just, and why correct something that even Thais don't correct? You know what I'm saying? Like, what get like I don't know. I think it's just pretty arrogant to be like. I don't know, that just seems arrogant to me. But yeah. I would like to be corrected from a Thai person. Then I would actually take it quite seriously because I know this person is pronouncing it correctly. But then like other foreigners correcting other foreigners, it ends up with like really messed up accents. And because that word is so corrected, like there's no other word in the Thai language that gets corrected more than Pattaya. And the only reason for that is because foreigners are doing it. Because you will never see a Thai person correcting pronunciation, you know? So there's all these know-it-all foreigners that are correcting it. And that is the word that is the most messed up in the Thai language. So it actually is like having a negative effect, you know? Because you have a bunch of people who don't know how to pronounce it trying to correct people, you know? Then it gets even more screwed up. So, yeah, I say just as far as the consonants are concerned, it is spelled correctly. P-A-T-A-Y-A. It's a ah sound. Now, as far as the intonation is concerned, I wouldn't worry about it until you actually understand like the 7 different tones in the Thai language and you can differentiate between them. So unless you're wanting to give out a full out language course and train every foreigner out here who has the need to say Pattaya with the 7 different tones in the Thai language and helping them understand a tonal language concept over like phonics, consonants type of language, don't get started. You know, this is why that particular word is a pet peeve to me. It's like there's too many people that shouldn't be correcting other people, trying to correct people on how to say it. And I betcha half of them still don't even understand the concept of a tonal language. So they're correcting it from a non-tonal language basis, which screws up the pronunciation for a real Thai. And Thais just think it's funny and makes us look more ignorant, you know? Man, I need to have vitamins. That's my rant. I get riled up, guys. You know what, though? That little rant about Pattaya has got me back into my right head and forget about all the thoughts I had about how am I gonna make my next year work, you know? That was really helpful. Now I can go get back to editing and try to get you guys out the Kanchanaburi vlog. And I'm really excited to see what you think about it because it will be different. I'll be narrating again and hopefully you like it. Yeah, let me know if you like it. Then there's a good chance I might be shooting a lot of my vlogs in that style. Except for maybe like food vlogs. Like food vlogs, I have to be interacting with the camera constantly. I mean, I don't really see another way of doing it. But as far as like these daily life vlogs, I think it's a bit more authentic if I narrate because in my daily life, I don't really necessarily constantly talk, you know? I'm pretty introverted, so I could narrate my thoughts afterwards, you know? You know what I'm saying? So it's actually more authentic. It's like Mayu will find me like sort of speaking to myself in my head, like just mumbling, and that's what I'm doing. Like I don't really talk verbally like I am right now, but in real life I just sort of experience things, and what I'm saying right now to you verbally, I like sort of talk in my head, like ramble on and on. So yeah, I'll just act normal in front of the camera and then narrate maybe the thoughts that I might have been thinking or the thoughts that I'm thinking as I watch the vlog, you know, of what I remember of the trip. So, yeah, let me know if you like that style. Ew. Isn't the full name of Bangkok like 20 words long? I think it's longer than 20 words. Yes. Ethan, that's for my comment. Started from pronouncing Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, yes, that's true. You are the one that got me motivated. Thank you, Johnny. Go all the way down to pronouncing Pattaya to Bangkok. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I say, if you don't even know the full name of the capital city, technically you shouldn't be there trying to correct a city that's, you know, actually dedicated to foreigners. That's how logically it makes sense to me. Let me know if you agree in the comments. But I'm gonna sign off now, guys. I have to start editing. Take these fish oils and ginseng multivitamins so I could work through the night. Bye bye. Mayu.
Why? No.
You can just see the hand.
Bye. Good night.
Why?